So Renee Nicole Good, a 37-year-old mother of three, was shot dead by a federal immigration agent in Minneapolis. And yo, like the way people are just out here being so weird about it, just defending the immigration agent for what he did, like I feel like that's just so weird. Like not gonna lie, like that's just so weird. Like I'm gonna just let y'all watch the video from BBC, like showing what actually happened, then we'll talk about it.
This morning, Minneapolis police officers received a report of federal law enforcement being involved in a deadly force incident.
No! No! Oh my God!
The preliminary information that we have indicates that this woman was in her vehicle and was blocking the roadway on Portland Avenue, midway between 33rd Street and 34th Street in the city. At some point, a federal law enforcement officer approached her on foot, and the vehicle began to drive off. At least 2 shots were fired. The vehicle then crashed on the side of the roadway.
It's just, oh my god, this whole thing is just annoying. Like just watching that makes me mad, not gonna lie. Cause it was really like not necessary. Like especially the way people are painting it out, like Donald Trump and what's his face, JD Vance, like talking about some that the agent got like ran over or whatever. Like you see the car like moving back first to make some room, and then the wheels in the front, they're literally like turning to the right to make some space so that she obviously doesn't hit him. Like you can tell that she was not trying to hit him. And the way that people are making it out to seem is that like she was out here aiming to hit the agent or whatever, and it just makes me so mad. Like, oh my goodness, it just literally so annoying. It's so annoying. Like there's so many things to say about it. Like mind you, there was three, and then the fourth jumped out like and stuff. Like it's four men. Like, and then there's one woman, one 37-year-old woman. Four guys against one woman. Like, is she really that big of a threat? Like, is she really that big of a threat? I feel like there's just like I don't know, like some low testosterone. Why y'all so scared of this woman? Like I don't know, like that just makes me so mad, making it seem like she's just a threat. Like it's always when it's convenient, like oh all of a sudden like the people on the right, like Donald Trump and JD Vance talking about some there's differences between men and women, which include strength. But when we have this clip of these four immigration agents, men going up against this woman, all of a sudden, like all of a sudden, all of a sudden, she's a threat. Like, there's just so many things to say about that. And mind you, like I said, she wasn't even going for actually hitting the agent. She like turned, like backed up and turned and everything. Like, oh my goodness, this whole thing just makes me mad. It really does. The whole thing is just annoying. But like what I'm saying is like when it comes to like four men versus one woman, like I know she's like in a car and stuff, so in a way that makes an advantage for her or whatever. But it's even before she like drove off. Like they were like grabbing the handle of her door and stuff, trying to open it and stuff like that. Like obviously she was scared, so it was probably one of those like fight versus flight moments where she just wanted to leave like ASAP, which I understand. And I mean, some people are gonna say, "Oh, she shouldn't have drove off. Like these are federal agents. Like she shouldn't have drove off." But like I keep trying to say, but I don't say for some reason, is that like it was just not necessary to escalate to the point of shooting her. Like there's tasers, there's other stuff. It just didn't have to escalate to the point of her life being taken. And what was shooting her gonna do? Like she was just gonna lose what is it called? Lose control of like of driving and stuff, and then they could have put the immigration agent even at more risk because at that point she's not trying to evade him. Like she would just the car would just go wherever it goes at that point, which it did. It's just so many things. It's just like it just makes me mad. Like just thinking about that. Like it just didn't have to escalate to her being shot. She has three kids, yo. Like I'm just thinking about that. Like that's so sad. Like the whole thing just it was just not necessary. And then even with the whole fact that like they're federal immigration agents or whatever, like yeah, she probably knew and stuff, but like she also probably hears the stories of like people getting like beat up, including women and stuff like that. Like these ICE agents don't got no mercy. A lot of them don't, at least from what I be hearing either. So yeah, she was scared. Again, it's four men against one woman, and they're already being aggressive, trying to open her door and everything like that. Like, ugh, the whole thing just is so annoying. And to make it fair, whatever, let's see the point of view of the immigration agent.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad. Show your face. I'm not mad. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I said go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Take it back.
Whoa!
Even watching his perspective makes me more against the side of the ICE agent, because like why, like there's just so many things. Oh my goodness. Like first of all, she said it's fine and she's not mad that like he's recording, including like the license plate. So like she was trying to cooperate at that point, and she was chill with it. And it wasn't until like the one ICE agent was walking all up, like trying to be all like masculine or whatever, and like towards her like all aggressive. Like again, it's like it's one woman, yo. It's one woman. So yeah, it looks like she got scared and she like started driving off, because it seemed like he was about to start being aggressive, and not, and like physically too, not just verbally, because he was cursing and doing all that. And it's just so many things too. It's like, okay, so she backed up, and mind you, in the earlier video we saw that her wheels were turning, and I feel like he had enough time to like move out the way at least a little bit more than what he did. And instead of using that time to like back up, get out the way, he got the gun and he started shooting at her. Like if you got time to start shooting at her, you got time to move out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like it in the other video we saw that she was not trying to run him over, like she was turning and everything. It just looks more dramatic because it's all up close, and because oh my god, it just looks like them soccer players that just be trying to fall and do anything just to like get a foul card or whatever. That's what it looks like. Like he's doing the most. Like that's what it seemed like. It just makes you so mad, yo. And like somebody who was like JD Vance talking about some, oh well, he got triggered blah blah because of his last incident, which we'll talk about. If he's really getting that triggered, like yo, he has a gun. He's putting people's lives at risk, which he did. He literally shot somebody dead. Like if y'all knew he was in distress, then maybe he should have gotten a little vacation, like go somewhere. Like ain't nobody need him to be out here panicking to the point of shooting somebody, taking their lives, leaving children without their mother. Like the whole thing it's just so like annoying. It just makes me even more mad and more like against the side of the ICE agent. Like what were you doing? Like okay, I'll give you a little bit, like oh you got scared, maybe whatever, you got hit a little bit, but again it's like you had time. If you had time to shoot that woman twice, mind you had time to move out the way, especially when she was giving you the opportunity, especially when you saw that your buddy, your other ICE agent, was coming at her all confrontational and she looked like she was scared. It's just so many things, yo. It's just so many things. Like it just makes you so mad. So the ICE agent is Jonathan Ross, and Katie Fang talked about his previous situation where he got hurt or whatever. But let's hear the full story, because JD Vance making it seem like he was a victim and he was harmless and he didn't do anything wrong. But let's just hear what Katie says.
We now know the name of the ICE agent who fatally shot and killed Renee Nicole Good, a 37-year-old unarmed mother in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The name of that ICE agent is Jonathan Ross. And no, I am not doxing this ICE agent. No, I am not putting him at harm of physical, threats of any kind. It is the DHS secretary herself, Kristi Noem, who stated publicly, straight out of the gate, that the ICE agent who was involved in the killing of Renee Good had himself been involved in a vehicle dragging event just months ago, last year in 2025. That was further confirmed by other members of the administration. It did not take a lot of cyber sleuthing to figure out and put two and two together that the ICE agent who was involved in that vehicle dragging incident in 2025 and that the ICE agent who killed Renee Nicole Good is Jonathan Ross. Based upon sworn courtroom testimony provided by Ross just last month in December of 2025 in the trial of the man who was accused of dragging him and assaulting him, we find out some background about Ross. So let's get into the details now. And again, this is from Ross's own sworn courtroom testimony last month in December of 2025. The criminal defendant was facing Mr. Munoz Guatemala. Munoz Guatemala, that's his name, Munoz-Guatemala, was arrested and charged with assault on a federal officer with a dangerous or deadly weapon. Okay. He went to trial last month in front of a jury. He was found guilty, convicted. He's pending sentencing. All right. Ross testified he served as a deportation officer based in Minnesota since joining ICE in 2015. 10 years, I guess, with ICE then. He is assigned to fugitive operations, which means he is arresting, quote, higher value targets in the ICE region that includes Minneapolis. He's a team leader with the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force. So back in June of last year, June 17th, in the Minneapolis suburb of Bloomington, Minnesota, he was the leader. He was the team lead for a group of ICE agents who went to arrest a man who was in the United States illegally. These agents activated emergency sirens and lights, instructing Munoz Guatemala to pull over. Ross pulled his car diagonally in front of Munoz Guatemala to force him to stop his car. Ross and an FBI agent identified themselves as police officers, according to Ross in his testimony during the trial. They pointed guns at Munoz Guatemala, who raised his hands. Ross then approached Munoz Guatemala's vehicle and ordered him to put it into park. Ross ordering the driver to lower his window all the way down and warning that if he didn't, he would break it. Ross testifying that he used a device called a, quote, spring-loaded window punch to break the rear driver's side window, and then Ross reached into the car to unlock the driver's door. Let's stop right now and let's reenact this for a second. Munoz Guatemala has stopped his car. I'm assuming the ignition is still on. It's still running. Ross has approached after pulling a gun on the driver. Ross uses a spring-loaded window punch to take out, to destroy, to break the rear driver's side window and reaches in to be able to unlock the driver's side door. According to the trial testimony, Munoz Guatemala drove off while Ross's arm was caught in the car, and Munoz Guatemala accelerated the car, dragging Ross down the street the length of a football field in 12 seconds. Now, that's pretty traumatic. That's a lot. Ross, though, this is interesting, and I want to stay on this for a second with you guys, so stick with me. Ross fired his taser, striking Munoz Guatemala with the taser prongs in the head, face, and shoulder. Munoz Guatemala was not incapacitated by the taser. Eventually, Ross was knocked free of the vehicle by force after the driver drove onto the curb for a second time and back onto the street. Jonathan Ross's right arm was bleeding. An FBI agent applied a tourniquet. He got 12 stitches or 20 stitches at the hospital after suffering multiple large cuts and abrasions as well to his knee, elbow, and face. Ross testifying during the trial, quote, "It was pretty excruciating pain." Now, that was from WBUR.org, a local news affiliate. And that also was from the Associated Press. Now, the New York Times, also looking at the court records for Munoz Guatemala's case, acknowledging the same information I've just relayed to you. And by the way, 2 law enforcement officers have identified the ICE agent who killed Renee Good as Jonathan Ross, so there's no confusion about who it ended up being. Apparently, Munoz Guatemala is Guatemalan, who had been convicted of sexual abuse in Minnesota and was illegally in the United States. Now, further details from the New York Times says that Ross fired his taser at Munoz, and Munoz was shocked twice with the taser. And again, that the cut to his right arm required 20 stitches. Now, here's some details from the New York Times that WBOR did not have. Munoz, Guatemala called 911 to say that he had been assaulted by an immigration agent. A phone call that ultimately helped officers find and arrest him about a mile away. Munoz, Guatemala stating that he didn't know that was an actual law enforcement officer that was trying to stop him and take him. There is a climate that has been created by ICBP and federal agents of fear among people, immigrants and citizens alike, right? Who undocumented migrants and citizens alike who don't know if they're being legitimately stopped by legitimate law enforcement because they're either masked or they're not wearing identification, right? I don't know the specifics about this with Munoz Guatemala's case, but I do know that that is the defense that was raised. And again, I want to make it explicitly clear, just in case people are not understanding me. I do not condone violence against law enforcement in any capacity.
So first of all, I just wanted to say that I ain't no sexual abuser sympathizer or anything like that. Like, that type of stuff is just disgusting to me, and I just ain't with all that. So I don't want any of y'all to be out here twisting what I have to say, making it out to seem like I'm cool with what he did, and that I don't think that he deserves any repercussions or just anything like that, okay? All right. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack, and I wouldn't be surprised if I missed something. But first of all, so it's Ross and another agent. I don't know if it's a man or woman, but I feel like most of the time it'd be men. So regardless of the case, it's two people versus this one man, from what I know. And these two agents pointed guns at Munoz, who then raised his hands. So I feel like that's interesting already because it's like, I feel like white school shooters don't even get this type of treatment. Like, they don't even get guns pointed at their face. So I feel like more than the fact that Munoz was a convicted sexual abuser or whatever, I feel like it just has more to do with like his race and just trying to assert dominance. Like Ross and the other agent trying to assert dominance. Cause like, I just don't know. I just find that like a little iffy. Like, I get it if there was like, I don't know. Like, I just find that a little iffy. I guess I just have questions like, why point guns first? I feel like that's already an escalation of the situation that could cause Munoz to do other things when it might not be necessary. And then it says that Ross told the driver to lower his window all the way down and warned that he would break it if he did not. And I don't know, it didn't say anything about Munoz actually like lowering or not lowering his window, but I'm assuming that he did not if Ross did all that with the breaking up the rear window and all that type of stuff. In this case, I could see there being a case being made that Munoz should not have been lowering his window if he really wasn't sure whether they were immigration agents. But even with that, like, I'm skeptical on both sides, like Munoz's side and Ross's side for like this situation, because initially Munoz did call 911 saying that he had been assaulted by an immigration agent, but then later on in a statement he said that he was not sure whether they were actually really immigration agents. So I don't know what that's about. It could have just been Munoz trying to build up his case, and instead of actually him not knowing whether they were really immigration agents. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he just didn't know that they were immigration agents, and in the call he just said that because that's what they seem to be. If they were wearing masks and if they were not wearing identification, because that's what immigration agents tend to do. And being all aggressive too, that's what immigration agents tend to do nowadays. That's what we see in the media, and especially because he said immigration agent instead of FBI agent. So in a way, I can also believe Munoz, because supposedly Ross had initially told Munoz that they were FBI agents, and maybe Munoz knew that there was a distinction between an FBI agent and an immigration agent because of what I said. Like, immigration agents are usually masked, not wearing identification, being all aggressive, versus an FBI agent might be more like normal standard type of stuff. So I don't know. I have some questions about that. I'm not sure. But let's say that Munoz really just wasn't sure and he was doubting that they were actually immigration agents. So I feel like that would be scary, to be honest, because it's like you have these people pointing guns at you. They might be wearing masks and they might not be wearing identification because that's like the climate, like Katie said, that ICE has been creating where like people don't really know, like, are they getting kidnapped by these random people that claim to be ICE, which I feel like that could be really easy, to be honest, to do, especially in this climate, or what the situation was. And even if it was an immigration agent, I mean, Munoz called saying that the immigration agent assaulted him. So I don't know. I guess he felt that he had like enough. I don't know. Like the situation was on his side if he even called 911. Because I wouldn't see why you would call 911 unless you really felt like you were in danger. Like I would imagine that he would just leave and then later on say that like he was assaulted by the immigration agent. But no, it was at that moment that he actually called 911. So he probably really was scared for his life. And so I don't know. It's just a lot of questions, but it's still considering too how the video that we saw of Renee, like the way that they were just so aggressive and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Munoz was actually really scared, and there was just a lot of questions roaming in his mind and stuff like that. And I don't know, but I guess only the ICE agents are allowed to kill people and do anything out of being scared, but others can't. Not to say that it's okay, but I just think it's weird the way that it's being framed. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Munoz shouldn't have drove off. Maybe Renee shouldn't have drove off either. I mean, I feel like that's hard too though because we don't know what would have happened to Renee. Maybe she would have got beat up. Like, I just feel like there's so many things. Like, it's just so sad and complicated. In conclusion, I just want to say, may Renee Nicole Good rest in peace, and her family will be in my prayers. I just feel like there's nothing I could really say honestly, like in this type of situation. It's just really sad, and I'm really sorry. I just hope that Jonathan Ross pays for his actions, but not gonna lie, I'm not gonna hold my breath on that type of stuff. One thing I know for a fact though is that he's not gonna be able to run away from his actions when he faces God. So I hope that Renee's family is able to just get through this, and that the Lord is just with them through this time. But that's about it. Like, I just condemn all this, like the Jonathan thing, the any other injustices that ICE has and honestly will continue to to make. Like, it's just so weird. We just really gotta get better. We gotta be more humane and stop being so weird, like just on. But that's all from me, yo.